Hello everybody, I'm Jennifer Bell if you are new to my channel, and I'm going to be talking today about a new package that I got, which is going to help. This is good for anybody that does gig delivery, or even if you just have a lot of kids, it could take you some time in the store. And so let's get to it. Because I know I'm cheap. I don't like to spend extra money on certain stuff. I'd rather spend money on shoes or fun stuff. But sometimes you've got to buy equipment, certain things to use, either just as being a parent, or like I said, if you do anything like for DoorDash, Instacart, Grubhub, a lot of times they will send you a bag, but then something could happen to it and you might need to replace it. So this is a small insulated bag. And as you can see, it's almost as tall. It's like you can't really tell. My elbow is my elbow's right here, but my sweater's making me feel like it's not showing it. Okay, that's like about how tall it is. If you can see, this is so awkward. Okay. And then this is the inside. You can get the little ones at Dollar General. I'm going to try this because this was really cheap. But I'm hoping maybe online. Sometimes you got to spend the money to get the better quality, because the inside of it can maybe not last as long. The ones at Dollar General are great for a little while if you're using them infrequently, but if you're using them every day, this coating can start wearing off, especially if you're always having super hot stuff in there. I talked about it in another video that I'd had a rotisserie chicken and it was so hot it burned a hole through the bottom, and yeah, that was fun. You definitely want to make sure you don't put anything burning hot in here, because it will mess up. As you can imagine, anything that's super hot is going to do a little damage to whatever it touches. And this is not meant for boiling hot stuff. It's just meant for, if you're bringing home an ice cream, if you are getting some chicken, but it's just warm, it's just to keep it warm. It's not to put anything boiling hot that literally just came out of, like a rotisserie, out of an oven, anything like that, because come on, I don't think anything can withstand that. And I learned from experience, so I can know. That was definitely fun times. You want to find something with a zipper. Because if you're having the lid wide open, what is the point of having the insulated bag? It's not just about showing up with the insulated bag. They want to see, or even if the zipper doesn't work, just make sure that the lid can stay on. Because then you're still letting a lot of heat out, a lot of cold, whatever you need it for. I would suggest, if for some reason your zipper breaks, try and find a way to do some Velcro, because it does show a lot better to your customers if you're doing the delivery work when you're showing up and it's closed. If it's just wide open, they're like, why is that even in there? Because the top, it's still gonna get the opposite temperature of what it's supposed to be. Find something with handles at the top. You got to check your information when you're looking at something to buy. Check what it's used for. If you're getting something with, it could be like a top load, but then it could be, a side handle. You want to, did I even say that right? Like the big pizza bags, they're made to stick the pizzas in and then still carry it. But, for regular groceries, it's not going to carry the same way. It's going to end up tilting over. So you want to make sure what kind of insulated bag you're actually buying. Check all the details, all the specifications. But little ones like this are really good, because not every gig delivery driver has big orders. The big ones are good because you do have big orders. That way you're not carrying a bunch of little ones. But you want some little ones too. You want to, even if you're just a parent, if you're just a caretaker, these are just good to have anyways. Just being a human, they're just good to have anyways, because sometimes we go in the store, we don't plan on buying that much, and then we end up with a full cart, and then that whole time your ice cream's sitting and thawing out, and then by the time you get home it's smushy. Popsicles, milk, yogurt, meats. You don't want any of that. You definitely want to get enough that covers stuff so you can keep your meat separate, unless you get the plastic bags, which, those are good, but they can get ripped. And I personally don't like to have any different types of meats together, just because in the off chance, I always think of the worst. Just find enough that's for different stuff. You know, one for your hot stuff, one for your cold stuff, one for dairy, one for vegetables that gotta stay cold. You know, that way, if you got one for lighter stuff, one for heavier stuff, the heavy stuff isn't crushing your lighter stuff. But you know, these just really help. And when you start noticing that it's just not keeping warm, like if it's been like 6 months and you notice that your food isn't staying as warm or as cold as it used to be, it's time to chuck it. Get a new one. Just spend the extra money, because what's the point of having it? You know, if it's a lot of times when you first buy one, everything stays nice and hot and it feels really good to deliver or bring it home. And then after a while, it just is kind of like getting room temperature or like cold really quick. You don't want to keep it. Just get rid of it, because there's really just no point in holding on to it. This was $7, but you know, the ones at Dollar General work. I would suggest that you have a bunch of them on hand, because they will start losing their the effectiveness of the lining. I know from experience. It doesn't last forever. I mean, look at how much money you're spending on it. It's a dollar store item, so it's not going to last forever. You know, especially if you're putting it in the wash, if you're using a lot of harsh cleaners on it, then it's not going to last as long. This is kind of textured, so I don't know if, you know, sometimes different textures can mean it's better, longer lasting, better quality. We don't know, because this is kind of like a quilted, feels kind of quilted, and it's like that all inside. So we're going to find out. But, you know, it's still worth spending the money and finding out. And then that way, if you got to go down the road and buy another one, you didn't spend that much on it. If you buy a bigger one, you don't want to go too cheap, I wouldn't say, because the zippers can break really easily. It just isn't as durable to hold. The straps can break. You don't want to go too cheap on big ones. Like these ones are okay. If you're not putting like a bunch of gallons of milk. If you're just putting like some little pieces or something like that, it should be fine. I would just be careful of what you're putting in here, so that it can last longer. If you are putting heavier stuff, I would just go ahead and use the bigger bag. You know, buy one and use it, because then that way those are, you know, it's bigger so it can hold more weight. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, just comment below and I can help the best I can. If you'd like to see future videos, just hit the subscribe button and the bell for all future notifications. And yeah, I don't even remember what brand this was. Inspac insulated bag, 16-inch. So if you can see that, you know, I don't really care about the brands. My bigger ones, I had bought one Rubbermaid, and then I got a different brand. I don't remember which one that is. And then there was one that was DoorDash. If you prefer Rubbermaid, just look up that. If you prefer a different brand, just look it up and see what's on there, you know. But like I said, just get the bags, because it definitely helps. You can keep them in your car. You know, these should fold down so that it's easy to fit in your car. You know, I know it can be frustrating because you're sticking it under there. If you've got kids, they're like putting their nasty feet all over. You got to wash it. Just find something to put these in where it can lay flat in your car. And then that way they're not getting all messed up. Because the more you're washing it, if you are putting this in the wash, or the more you're using cleaners, they are going to wear down. Just like anything else. It's just like with the clothes. You know, if you're using detergent on it all the time, it's going to wear out. But anyway, so you can see this folds pretty flat. And yeah, so that's good. So anyways, I hope to see you guys next time, and enjoy your day.